Welcome back to another episode of Thinking Out Loud. I am Joel.
I'm Kayan.
I am Brad. And collectively, we need to say, hello from Detroit. Or just me.
Yeah.
It's not collectively.
Stranded on a deserted island here.
You did
We support
you. You did a good job on it. Yeah, you've absolutely got our support. Okay. YouTube Skinny Bundle. Just launched in another 10 cities this week. The long awaited, it's finally here in Detroit. Very excited about that. So, question is, what is this going to mean for the TV watching crowd as a whole?
Yes.
And then what's it going to mean for influencers? If anything, what's it going to mean for YouTube Red?
All fantastic questions. Maybe
Jump
we
in
need
at
to
any
start.
time.
Maybe we need to start out first with, what is YouTube TV?
Okay, let's
Yeah.
start there.
So YouTube TV is Google's $35 per month streaming service, and it's aimed at a younger demographic of people who are cord cutters or who never had cable to start with. And yeah, it includes YouTube Red, it includes live TV, it includes
Sports. Sports.
How
Sports.
much life? Yeah, like what?
the only
what
thing Brad
specifically?
cares about.
On TV.
Well, yeah, I mean, like it is. I mean, this is what I think is most significant of it is news and sports.
Yeah.
Like, which I mean, we've talked about this before. I
Yeah.
think those are the two key elements that have been keeping a whole lot of people in cable for a while because, frankly, viewing habits have changed sufficiently enough that commercials are just an absolutely brutal interruption, and you can't binge watch it in the same way that now. I mean, people settle in for a weekend of.
Netflix. Pick your favorite show.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I don't even know what the kids are watching these days. But like news and sports, like that to me is really significant. I don't know how much traction Hulu Live got, and I mean I think Hulu's a little bit tight-fisted with what their data is.
Sure.
But if Hulu Live wasn't going to do it, I think YouTube Red is. I think YouTube TV rather. I think this is going to fundamentally disrupt the industry that is already being disrupted, but like this is the nail in the coffin for TV, I gotta believe.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we all know the narrative around cord cutting, like Kayan mentioned. People are moving away from it, but the big sticking point has always been, but what about my live sports? So you can either borrow your friend's username and password and watch ESPN that way, maybe, or you can.
Do you have any direct experience with that?
None. I would never do such a thing. Or now you can finally have this solution answered. And what I think is really telling as far as the industry is concerned is two huge players, YouTube TV and Hulu, are now both going towards that model. And YouTube TV, which started out in 5 cities, is now in 10 cities. Welcome to Detroit. We're happy you're here, YouTube TV.
Yes.
And it's fantastic from a consumer perspective. But what I think is really interesting, and you kind of started to mention this before, is what does it mean for influencers and people that are on creator generated content now that YouTube is getting into more, I'll call it professionally developed content, more of the traditional TV. So that's the big question that's on the table here from an influencer marketing perspective.
Yeah, and I know that Brad's first question when we heard about YouTube TV was, so how well integrated is it with YouTube itself? So like, can I be watching my favorite influencers' content and then jump to watching live sports right away?
Yeah, and the answer is yes.
Yeah.
So on the upper left-hand corner of YouTube.
What about the other way though? Can I be watching one of my favorite influencers, and then will the content engine recommend some live TV?
So that's a good question. When you're on YouTube, in the upper left-hand corner, it's really easy to click to YouTube TV.
I'm sorry, I said the exact same thing. If I'm watching TV, will it recommend some other channel?
Yeah. So I have not seen it be able to recommend channels, because it's more when you go and click on YouTube TV. There's a screen, and you can go check this for yourself. It's a free 1-month trial, so why not check it out? But it'll show a lot of channels streaming at once, and you can just click on whichever one you want to watch. Plus, it's like the standard program guide. But from what I've seen, and let us know if we're understanding this incorrectly, when you're watching a show, it's just going full screen to that channel to make the TV experience as similar to watching TV as possible. So if you're watching Fox Sports, for instance, it's just going to continue to show, like, evergreen that content because it's 24/7 streaming content on that channel.
And it's also got DVR capability, so it, record that and watch it for later type of thing, which is great.
Yeah. What I think is fantastic in general for YouTube influencers is this is just getting more people on one platform.
Yeah.
And sure, it's not perfectly integrated as far as the recommendation engine is concerned, but if there's one thing we know about Google, it's that they're fantastic about being able to search across a multitude of different channels and platforms to be able to identify content that's relevant. So getting both of them under that YouTube umbrella, I think we'll see the lines blur significantly going forward between professionally created content and creator-generated content. And so that, to me, is what's really exciting, is that it gives a longer lifetime for YouTube as a platform, so it's not going to wind up like Vine. What do you guys think?
I think so. YouTube wants watch time, right? And I mean, it's impossible to know this, but in terms of what's the revenue breakdown between watching user-generated content versus TV. And my guess is that user-generated content is going to be more lucrative for them than the live TV. I think they're going to have much higher licensing. That's just that.
It's interesting.
There's less banner space. My guess is AdSense isn't going to become. So my guess is that they are going to really, they're going to want to take the TV data, whatever you're watching there, and then actively be recommending user-generated content because that is more valuable to them. That's my take. And insofar as it does that, this is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it's great for our business because this is going to bring a whole bunch of new users in. And because I watched, this news segment, because I watched Anderson Cooper, now it's going to recommend Good Mythical Morning to me and saying, and because it's got millions of data points that people who like this also like this. And I think it's fantastic. I think it's just the audience is going to balloon of what is already a substantial audience. It's absolutely going to balloon. I also, for that, that YouTube's already amazing at reaching really, call it the late teens into early 30s female.
Millennial females.
The millennial female, because they're just everything from makeup and beauty to fashion to art. Like, there's incredible content on there already.
Right.
I think, but yet at the same time, you have the similar male cohort is also watching YouTube. I think there's in many ways a lot less effective advertising for that group. And I think you're going to see a totally different kind of advertiser now come into YouTube because of the whole sports thing, because of live sports. They're going to capture this, and they're going to find all these different brands that we've seen be really resistant to get into YouTube. I think now are going to come in real meaningful ways, and they're going to discover this world of content that's existed for years that is perfectly catered to do a integration plus paid media on the TV side and have those interact really beautifully and have somebody like Google capturing all that data and serving up their ads for them. I think that's going to be really meaningful. I also, that's the good. Can I make one more point?
The better.
Well, yeah. So, but this is also like, given that they're doing this and given that this new treasure trove of data they're going to get, we've been hearing rumors for years that basically what we do in terms of brokering these kinds of deals and branded content and working with brands and all that at some point Google's going to want to take that in-house. They're going to want to cut out the MCNs. They're going to want to cut out influencer marketing agencies. And with this, I think they are one really big step closer to doing that, where it will make sense because they're going to have data that nobody else can touch. And so we know that people watch these, over this week, they watched these 10 hours of live TV, and it was this mix. They watched these influencers, and this influencer over here, who you would never intuitively think is your target audience, actually is. Because, and then they're going to partner with big media agencies that's going to bring, boatloads of data in. So anyways, now, is this going to happen anytime soon? No, but at some point, I mean, Google will just be foolish not to.
Well,
right?
there's huge benefit to them because they're going to be able to have the ads even more tailored. So one of the things that cable TV providers can do is based on what your viewing habits are, is they can serve you specific ads. So now with YouTube being able to be the cable provider and then have the creator generated content, the ads in that in the cable side are going to be even more tailored because they have data from these two sources now, so they're going to be able to bring everything together. So frankly, from a viewer perspective, it should be a better experience because the ads are going to be more relevant, and for you as the marketer, this is an opportunity to be able to bring together two formerly separate platforms together. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet, but at some point
it's coming.
Yeah, I mean, because ultimately what this is going toward is Google is going to know what you want before you know that you want it. And when you see that ad, you're like, gosh darn it, I wasn't thinking about that, but yeah, I do want that.
It's like the Target reward story. Remember the rewards card? You familiar with this? Where
Yeah.
Target knew the girl was pregnant before her father did, and they started to send stuff for babies and like a congratulatory note. And
Yeah,
that didn't
and like the father was irate and
Yeah.
then had to
Eat his
walk
words.
that back. Yeah, because it turns out his 17-year-old daughter was pregnant. Well, on that note,
perfect note.
Thanks for tuning in. So long from Detroit. We'll see you next time.